Hi everybody, thank you so much for joining me here today at the At Work edition of Re-Written Vintage Homestead. So I wanted to kind of recap for those of you who didn't hear in my last few videos that in November I was diagnosed with a type of leukemia that only 1% of leukemia patients are diagnosed with around the world per year. It's that rare. There's all kinds of different leukemias. This one is hard to study because there haven't been that many people that get it. So because of that, it's kind of hit and miss on how to treat it. And they also look at things like, they call them 17 markers. I think that they look in your blood to see if you have these, so that they can determine how fast spreading this leukemia, might be. Now, you can have leukemia for a long time and you not start getting the symptoms until later on in life. And for women, it's typically age 60, and I'm 61. So I definitely fit that as far as my symptoms. And so what my symptoms were I would lose my, as you can hear, every now and then I get a little croaky. It's because of the oxygen not flowing correctly through my bloodstream. I had pain in my chest that I thought was my heart, but it's actually my spleen that I still have on and off in my chest. And occasionally, if I would overly exert myself, I would become sick and I would have to rest for a while, and then I would feel better. But all of these things I just chalked up to COVID. I had COVID twice last year, and I thought they were lingering symptoms or long COVID. So what I want to encourage everybody is, when you get your yearly physical, number one, get a yearly physical. I know a lot of us, including myself, don't like to spend the money, but make sure you go. And then secondly, make sure they do blood work. A lot of times people just go in for med checks and the doctor says, "How you doing?" And you're like, "I'm doing great, I'm doing fine," which is probably what happened to me in the years before I had this diagnosis, so no blood work was taken. So always make sure that you request blood work. So, which leads us to today's video. Since I've received this diagnosis, I've gotten a lot of interesting questions as to what lessons have you learned and how are you staying so positive and upbeat. So I thought that is what we would answer today. So what I'm talking about today is my experience. Everyone is different. This is my experience. And the reason I'm sharing this and the reason I'm so open with my diagnosis is for several reasons. Before my diagnosis, I was a loner. I loved to be on the homestead, out in the garden, working in the yard, doing crafts, baking, cooking, that kind of thing. I preferred the company of, my immediate family, but I didn't really socialize with people, spend time with my girlfriends, that kind of thing. That's one lesson I've learned, is that you cannot get through this without friends. You cannot get through this without family. And for me, it's been really beneficial being able to talk about it, because then it's not always building up in my mind and in my heart. So that doesn't mean I want to talk about it all the time. Every time I see someone that I want them to bring it up, I want to be the one to bring it up when I need to talk. So, a lot of people say, well, we don't know what to say. We don't know how to react when we find out someone has cancer. I think that's a good thing to remember, is when they want to talk, they'll talk. Believe me, if they don't want to talk, don't bring it up. Let them be the ones that bring it up and talk. And if you find that person's open, ask your questions. Ask your questions, and you'll learn how you can help these people. Which brings us to another lesson that I learned pretty quick, is there are some people that really, really care for you and really want to help in any way they can. And you need to let them, even if it's just like with me so far, it's just been talking. Sometimes I just want to talk. And I really have made it a habit now to spend more time with my friends and to get in touch with my friends and enjoy those people and those relationships. And so on the flip side, there are other people that are just nosy and they really don't care, one way or another. I mean, they're compassionate. They don't want anything bad to happen to you, but they're not there to see what they can do to help or so you can vent. They just are nosy. And so you will be able to tell those people right off the bat, okay? You'll be able to tell who's sincere and who isn't. And so be discerning who you talk to so that you're not just wasting your breath. You're actually getting back some positive feedback from the people that you're talking to. Another thing is was I sad? Yes, it's like a death. It's like you are grieving. You're mourning for yourself. You're mourning for the person you were the day before you heard the diagnosis. And I cried and cried and cried and cried and cried and was in shock. And I immediately thought of what I had to do to get things in order for my husband and I thought about my family and my children and my grandchildren, things I had planned to do in the future as far as getting things in order for them. So that was the immediate thought for me, which I thought was really interesting because, a lot of people, they talk about their bucket list. When you would think that when you get a diagnosis of cancer, that you would say, oh my gosh, I've got to get to Hawaii. That's on my bucket list. I've got to jump out of that plane. It's on my bucket list. But for me, once I thought about my family and the things I needed to do to make sure that my husband was taken care of, you don't think about those big, huge things. You think about the small things. I remember smelling coffee and watching leaves rustle in the wind. And it's the little things like that that hit you the hardest. In addition to what's going on with your body, the medications that you're now required to take that may have certain side effects, the chemo that you have to go through or the radiation, in addition to the changes in the way you look and the way you feel, one thing that I found that really messes with you is your mind. And so you have to do everything you can to stay positive while you're going through this, even when it looks like all the chips are down. I know for myself that there are still times where I'm exceptionally in a good mood and enjoying myself, and then I'll think, you're not taking this cancer seriously enough. You're not depressed, like I should be. You're not crying like I should be. And so it's almost like my mind is telling me, you don't deserve to be happy. You should only focus on this. And your mind will tell you other things too, like you only have this much time, even though a doctor has not said that yet to me. You'll start thinking, they've already told me my prognosis is not good, so I'm the one that's putting a time limit on it. And so you have to learn some different strategies to help your mind stay strong. It needs to be as strong as your physical body in order to get through this. So that's going to be what we're going to talk about next, is how I'm doing that. There is no way I could get through this without God. And so I surrounded myself with believers. I made sure I told people who I knew were believers. I asked people to pray for me, and I pray for myself. And that was another mind game I had to get through. I'm the type of person that'll say, you know, dear Lord, please, please get this out of me, and I want to be healthy. But God, there's a lot of little children that are sicker than I am. Please make sure you take care of them first. And the little dog that's on the side of the road, please make sure that he finds a home. Am I a saint? No, but that's just, you know, kind of how I pray. I feel guilty if I'm asking for something and I know others have it a lot worse off than I do. But in speaking to my minister, he reminded me that God has enough love for all of us. The children who are sick, the dog on the side of the road, and me. So there's nothing wrong with praying for myself, and I can still pray for others, and God can heal all of us. So that is what you need to remember, the promises in the Bible that God has made to you. Now, is it a promise that you're going to be healed? No. Have I gotten that from God? No. I may not. But I'm not alone. I'm not alone. No matter how this turns out, I don't feel alone. And that's what's important. I feel like God's got my back, no matter what happens. And I encourage you to seek him out when you get a diagnosis of cancer, when you have a death in the family, when something catastrophic happens. He can heal. He does perform miracles. It doesn't always happen, but you are not alone. I'm still the same person I was before I found out that I had cancer. And so I made lists. I made daily lists. I made weekly lists. And your lists don't have to change just because you receive this diagnosis. Your list doesn't have to become an end-of-life list. I need to do this and this and this before I die. I need to go here before I die. I'm talking about the things that brought you joy before you had this diagnosis. I want to get my garden out. I want to go through my seeds. I want to clean out my pantry. I want to make a video. Everything that you enjoyed before this diagnosis is still who you are. So keep up those lists. Keep checking them off. Remember what your goals were before this, and make sure they're still your goals as you're going through this. Live one day at a time and practice daily gratitude. So I can't be thinking about what I'm going to be going through 6 months from now, what I might be doing a year from now. I have to focus on today. Today I have to take my medicine. Today I have a doctor's appointment. Today I have to go to work. Today I'm going to make a nice dinner. Today I'm going to go watch my granddaughter dance. I can only think about today. And by doing that, it takes so much pressure off of what might be coming down the road. And even those days when I'm going through what I know is coming, I'm going to try to focus on one day at a time. Today I'm doing what they tell me to do. Today I'm taking my medicine. Today I don't feel good. I'll feel good tomorrow. Okay? And practice daily gratitude. When I'm walking into work, I'm looking up at the birds and I'm saying, thank you, God, for those little sparrows. And I'm smelling things, you know, I'm smelling the fresh air. I'm walking a little faster and I'm feeling my heartbeat. Just whatever it takes, practice daily gratitude. We have so much to be grateful for. Sleep. I found that out, and my husband will point that out to me too. When I haven't gotten enough sleep, that's when I'm weepy. That's when I get sad. That's when I get depressed because I'm tired. And so everything affects me differently than if I had gotten a good night's sleep or taken a nap. Don't feel guilty about getting enough sleep. Don't feel guilty about taking a nap. Your body is recovering. You're going through a lot, and mentally too. And there's mental exhaustion that can just wipe you out. So get enough sleep. Accept that you cannot control everything in your life. And that's a lesson I wish I would have learned a long time ago. You always think, oh, well, you know, I'm going to get up in the morning, I'm going to do this, 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 and this, and I'm going to change the outcome. Well, sometimes you can. But with a diagnosis like cancer, it's out of your hands, isn't it? You can eat the best that you can. You can exercise, drink the water, take your medicine, do everything that they tell you to do, but it's still out of your hands, okay? So you have to learn to accept that. Give it to God. Give it to your physician and do what they tell you to do and have faith. Laugh. Something I do is I will try to watch a comedy every day. So in the evenings, I do my daily chores or whatever I want to do in the evening when I get home, but I will try to watch something funny before I go to bed and laugh, or listen to a joke that someone's telling me, or listen to the radio, something funny. But life shouldn't be all doom and gloom. It wasn't before, so it doesn't have to be after. I am grateful for today. So make sure that you laugh every time that you can, and don't punish yourself for enjoying yourself.
The pain, yeah. Okay, well, got some Novocaine right here. Just hold on a minute, let's see how this works here. Okay, Novocaine. Here we are, Novocaine. Take a firm hold of the hypodermic needle. Right. There'll be a little bit of pain, and then numbness will set in. Give you a little shock here. Yeah, I'll be right with you.
stay off of the internet as far as your diagnosis. When I was first diagnosed, that's the first thing I did was Google in the exact words that my physician had told me. And you're going to find the worst case scenario for the cancer that you have. The prognosis won't be good. It doesn't sound like there's anything that's going to heal you. It's always going to be the worst case scenario. So after that, and after my doctor explained that to me, that there are so many things that are fluid on the internet. That you may find something that was written 10 years ago, and you're going to take that for today. You're going to be looking at studies that were done 2 years ago. Medicine is fluid and changing all of the time. There are clinical trials that your specialists may know of that haven't even been put on the internet yet. So stay away from it and let your doctors and people that are trained and know all about these things explain them to you, and stay off of the internet. You can find any subject and find the worst case scenario for it. And if you want to stay positive, don't do it. Practice self-care. That might be getting your nails done, getting your hair done, soaking in a bubble bath, staying in the shower an extra long time, putting on your makeup, exercising, going for a walk, reading, spending time with your friends. Whatever self-care is to you, do it. Do it. You probably neglected it. I know I never got my nails done, or I haven't gotten them done in years, and I still haven't because I can't justify spending the money. But there's other things I do for self-care. So I will take care of my skin. I will read my Bible. I will go for a walk. I'll spend time with Marshall and my family and my husband and my grandkids, and practice those things that make you happy. Do self-care, and you got to kind of start being a little selfish with your time so that you can work those things in, because it's so important. Self-care is so important, but you may not want to do it all at once. Never, ever stop learning. You're still here, right? You woke up this morning. Learn something new. Learn a new word. Read about a famous person. See what's going on in the world today and learn about it. Learn a new recipe. Do something that engages your mind so that it takes your mind off of the things that make you sad. So I always try to try a new recipe, or I read a lot of history. And so those things really are a distraction. So never, ever stop learning about the world around you, about our history, and anything else that's of interest to you. You want to keep your brain sharp, and you want to feel alive. So keep engaging in the world today. What's one way that you can get your mind off of yourself? You can help others in any way you can. So I know that my son and we are both concerned about litter. So pick up some litter. Of course, wear gloves in today's day and age. Help someone in your church. Help your family. Help a neighbor. Do what you can. Do you have someplace you can donate clothes to? Do you have someplace you can donate food to? Is there a program in your community that you can join and help others? Try to find a way to help others in whatever way you can to get your mind off of yourself, and you're going to feel so much better. join a support group. I belong to an online group of cancer people who have been diagnosed with blood cancers. There are so many to choose from. You can just put in cancer care, Googling cancer care. You're going to find all kinds of programs and support groups that you can join. Be careful. You want to be careful. Don't join a group where it's all doom and gloom, where you have someone in the group who sees everything bleak and no future, no hope. It'll only bring you down. Try to find people that are fighting, that are trying to get through this, no matter what the outcome, who are eating right, who are exercising, who are taking their medicine, who are encouraging others, okay? Don't get wrapped up with people who are all doom and gloom and bleak. It'll only bring you down, and it'll hurt your mental health. So try to find a support group that's positive, and you can share how you feel and get those feelings out, encourage others, and they can encourage you as well. And this last strategy that I've been using might sound odd to some. It even sounds odd to me, really. But I've tried to change the way I think about cancer in my body. Instead of being a curse to me and asking, why me? Why did this happen to me? I've asked myself, why me? Right? There has to be a reason. Why did this happen to me? Why not me? And since it is me, what am I going to do with it? And that's why I'm talking with all of you today, is because I want you to know that there is hope. There is hope. And no matter how dark it may get, you're not alone. There are people all over the world going through the same thing as you are. They're feeling the same things you are. There's days they're happy. There's days they're sad. There's days they think that they don't deserve to be happy. There's days they're tired. I mean, we all go through these things. You're not alone, okay? So I've tried to tell myself this is actually a gift. Even if I just reach one other person who's going through this, and they say, you know what, she's right. She's right. I'm going to learn something new today. I'm going to tell God, thank you so much that I woke up, that I'm feeling good today, and I'm going to get in touch with a girlfriend, and we're going to go out to lunch. Or I'm not going to worry about what might happen in 3 months. Today, I'm going to cook up a wonderful meal, or I'm going to write a long letter instead of texting someone. You know, just one thing to make you feel positive. We don't know how much time any of us have left on earth, whether you have cancer or you don't. So all of these strategies can help you actually enjoy life, I believe. Look at your life as a gift. And I've been looking at my cancer as a gift. It is helping me to show my children and my parents and my grandchildren how to get through tragedies like this in life without folding and feeling hopeless. So, you guys, I hope that something I said resonates with you. I hope you find something this week to be grateful and happy for, and I hope you find a funny show that you can laugh at this week. I'm feeling great. I'm doing what the doctor tells me to do. I'm going to my treatments twice a week. And I still have you guys to lean on too. And I'm so grateful. Hope you guys have a great week. I got some good recipes coming up. Join me again.